Good morning, Stampers. It is Tammy with Stamp and Scrap Tammy with our Wednesday Facebook Live. I gotta take a look at my calendar what the date is today. Oh, I should know that. It is November 11th, Veterans Day. So happy Veterans Day to any veterans out there. I'm also wishing my husband a happy Veterans Day. He was in the National Guard for 20 years. And part of that was active duty. So that was, it's always nice to honor him today and then everybody else as well. All right, so looks like we are live. I hope you all are having a wonderful day. It's coming up in a different place yet again today. It is in a different page or place every single time. But I do see we're live. I'm going to switch it to the classic. It's asking me, so it's showing me different and I can switch it back to how it used to be. So that's kind of cool. That's a new button for me today. All right, so I have got a super awesome project to share today. And I'm going to give a shout out to the original creator of it. I do a make and take planner that I get from Rhonda Wade, and that is what we do for my team over. There was just a few of us that are local that got together for a really informal, I guess, but I did a little decorating, and I decorated with all of the, I'm just trying to get this straight here, all of the bags and like logo things that I've gotten from Stampin' Up! Over the last 4.5 years. And then I found my apron. So now I've been wearing my apron. It's kind of fun. So yes, so thank you all so much. I'm not seeing if that was a comment. I think I did. So I want to thank you all the customers out there. So whether you've ordered from me, you've watched a video, you've told a friend about my videos or my Stampin' Up! Business, I appreciate it. I did land in the global top 100. That was a huge goal of mine, so I was so excited about that. And I believe I was 54 in the United States, and so it was just so wonderful to see that. And it's not just me that does it; it's all of you taking part in my business. I could not do this without all of you for customers and just supporting, watching my videos and things. So look at what we're using today. We have got just amazing things going on. Oh, I should share with you today. So I have to take out my phone from my phone case when I do these to put it in my holder. But look at what I have. So I think I shared this a couple times now because I just love it. So I have a clear phone case, right? And then this is a logo thing for demonstrators can order. I have this little cute Stampin' Up! Thing. And then I have been putting designer series paper in to match whatever class I'm doing. So look at what we're doing today. Obviously I'm showing it down here too, but so today we're gonna do super fun folds. I'll share it with you and then I'll share with you the products that are in that suite. We are going to do this fun fold. Now some of you that are watching, I'm probably giving you a sneak peek because some of you guys are in my uplines group and you guys are probably doing this make and take as well. So you're gonna get a double glimpse at this, but I really appreciate you watching. And I think you'll enjoy this as well. So there's a different take that everybody does on these, but it's generally the same. And then I have a bonus card. And I'm only going to show how to make a couple of these. I'm not going to make all of them, but I'll show it in the screen at the end. And so this is the bonus card that is going to be included. So any of the kits that I send out for people that order, you're going to get 5 cards in your kit. And this will be the bonus one. And then the other 4 are the same layout for all 4 cards. But they're all have a different look. And so we're using the Poinsettia petals. And let me tell you, so I wrote up a tutorial for it yesterday for this one. And then I had my helper Gail. She wrote up the more formal one that I'll show you. But I did this one yesterday. And by the time I was done adding all of the information in and all that, I think I might actually know how to spell poinsettia now. It took quite a few tries, and every time I wanted to add a T after that N. I just couldn't get it through my head that there was no T in there. But poinsettia, so I think I might be able to spell it properly now. Now if I could just work on my measuring, well that, that would be a real trick. But anyways, okay, so here is the stamp set. So, pretty cool thing about this is you can stamp and cut out these poinsettias. Now to make it real easy in the kit, so if somebody does not have the entire collection or suite, I have done it where they're all cut out and I'm showing you how to see them without having to do the stamping. All you need to do is add in a sentiment on the end. So if you don't have this stamp set, you're still going to be very successful with these make and takes. All right, so let's see. Let's move along. And then, because I got kind of a mess started here. And so right here we do have the die cuts. And this is the neat part about these die cuts, and I'll bring that up closer. There is some embossing that is done on them. So that is where you get the nice look. So if you don't stamp on them, it still looks really cool. And then I also just did some regular embossing on a couple of them that I will share with you. And then these fun images here, a couple different leaves. And then these are for the center. Now something else that is for the center that is in that suite are these beautiful pearls. They have a different name. I'm not sure what I think it is beaded pearls. So these I think are some of the prettiest embellishments we have ever had. And then this is the ribbon that is included in the suite in the catalog, but I didn't use that. I actually used a different one because I didn't make them all real red. I used different colors for my cards. But this is what is in that collection if you'd like to see the whole package all together. I did a little improvising. And then we have two different papers. So here are the designer series papers. Again, really nice about this is it's not all poinsettias, so you can definitely use it for other things. Kind of a masculine rustic look there. You have a wood grain, and then let me see if I have them all. I don't know if I have them all here. I might have used some of them up. And then I'll flip. You'll just get the general idea here. Here we are. Look at those. It's a really, really pretty collection of paper for Christmas cards or scrapbooking, home decor pieces. And this is really a star of the show too, is this felt paper. I should have looked at the formal name of this. I'm sure I have it on my, so there's a supply list on here. And so this is a plush poinsettia, and it's plush because it's maybe hard to see here, but this is a little bit of like a felt. So it's a vellum with like a felt overlay. And I cut out some poinsettias right from this paper. You'll see there are some there. And this nice design here. So this one here too, this reminds me of something that you could use for a wedding or something more formal as well. And let's go ahead and move on. Let's see, it looks like, I'm hoping if someone could answer me, if someone said their screen is frozen, it looks like mine's being a little goofy, but people are saying hello, so I'm hoping that it's coming in okay here. Let's see. I sure hope so. Otherwise, I could always start back over if it's not. I'm hoping that it's working just fine. Okay. All right, so let me show you the cards now that we're creating today. I'm going to give this just a second to see if I can have someone comment if it is coming in. So I saw that Tessie just joined. So if it is working, can someone just say this, everything is working? Gail is watching, Cheryl's watching. We have Barb, Janine, and there's a new comment. Oh, it says you're okay. Okay, so it must just be on my computer. So my phone's coming in fine, but it's my computer that's being goofy, and I can see the comments. So, all right, thank you, everybody. All right, so here we are, is what we're going to be sharing today. Again, this was a tutorial shared with me, or the first idea was shared by Rhonda Wade, and then I recreated them for you. And these are the ones that are going to be included in that free with a purchase kit. And you're probably looking at these thinking, this lady is crazy. Like, what is she thinking that I'm going to be able to do this? And I'm going to show you how easy this is, or how it's okay if you goof it up and you can try again. Just in case it doesn't work, I got to cover myself there. All right, so a couple things that I'm going to need is I'm going to need the card bases, which I do have those already cut. So here's where you're going to see the general idea. So this is how they're going to come to you. Well, they'll be flat because they'll be in an envelope. So this is how they're going to come to you if I send these to you, or if you're local and you pick them up. Okay, so that's that. But let me show you how to do that. And then here's all of our envelopes with all of our fun things to decorate them. And then we have our card bases. A couple of these, that one's already done. Okay, so we don't need that one. This one is not done at all. All right, perfect. So I'm going to start with this one that I already have scored one time. So, and then I'll see if I can get in view. I might have to go this way today, just so to give you a nice view of it. So you'll be kind of sideways, but it'll make more sense. You'll be able to get a full view of what I'm doing here. All right, so what I have now is a full sheet of paper. Here we are. And I just cut it in half at 4 1/4. So it's 4 1/4 by 11. So it's just our standard cardstock. And I did use I shouldn't say quite standard. Since it is for the base, I used the thick. Okay, so what we're gonna do here, I've already scored this at 6 1/2. And this is a really cool thing. I learned a few new things about our paper trimmer that I did not know before, because when I saw this, I thought that, you know, the lady that passed this along to me, I thought she was crazy to think that I was going to do this with a large group of people and I was going to be able to figure it out. So I did though, and then I learned things about the trimmer as I went. So what I have here, again, I've already scored this at 6 1/2, and now all the work I'm going to do on this card is going to be on the larger end. So the part that's 6 1/2. In this piece, we're essentially going to disregard that. We're just going to kind of forget that that's here while we're doing all of our scoring. And so let's go ahead and start, and let me take a look. I'm going to just leave my directions here as a base. I did tell you that I would share this. So to get a good view, I'll try to share this a couple times, because I did say if you wanted to take a screenshot, you could. So I'll leave that there just for a second, and then I'm going to set it up on my little easel here so that I can glance at it if I need to. And again, it's okay if you try this and you have to try it more than once. It did not work for me the first time. I had to do a little practicing. So let's go ahead and start with our scoring. I'm going to flip it this way, and I'm going to line up with the 1 inch mark. And so the edge of my card is going to be at that 1 inch mark. And the top part on mine, the lighter gray, is my scoring, and the darker one is my cutting. So I'm going to work with my scoring tool first. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go through a couple times so it gives me a nice line. And it is the thick cardstock, so you don't have to worry about it going through. Now, so we got a 1 inch. It worked great to go all the way across for this first score line. But now the second one, I need to be at 2 inches. So it needs to be 2 inches here. So if I just line up my already scored line on the 1, I'm going to be right in the right place. And so what I'm going to do now, I just need to score this down to 1 inch and then 1 inch over here. A couple ways you can do this. Oh, this is what I didn't know. I never realized there was a ruler on this side. I was just baffled by it. It's just funny how those things kind of show up for you sometimes. All right, so I'm just going to go right in. And if you get just a little bit off on this, it's going to be okay. It's going to work. All right, so there we have our 1 inch there. Now I need it to go here. So if you'd like to make it really easy for yourself, you could just flip that over and then go 1 inch from the other side. However, I'm going to do it from here to show you that this is 4 1/4. So we know 1 inch, we're just going to have to go 3 1/4. And I'm looking at this a little different view, so I'm hoping it's working out here. All right, here we go. So that's our 2 score marks here. Now we need to do a little bit of cutting. And so I need to cut from this 6 1/2 inch mark down to this first 1 inch mark. And as you see, I like to use both the top and the bottom of my paper trimmer. And I did try this on the regular scoring board because that's where I'm used to doing all my scoring. It did not work quite as well. It was a little bit more difficult. And since you need a trimmer anyways to do this cut, you might as well just use the paper trimmer. And then you just have to have one tool out. Okay, so now I'm at my 6 1/2 mark here. Remember, I'm just kind of forgetting this part is even there. And I am going to cut down to the 1 inch mark. And now this is where I'm going to use the top of my trimmer just because that's how I operate. You can do it however it works for you. And now I'm going to go line it up again with this 6 inch mark. And I never really have done cutting where I start in the middle of the paper. I never really understood how that worked until I did this. And look at how great it works. And so we have one more score to do now. So I'm trying to go slow, so I hope you guys understand that. I'm trying to go slow, so if anyone wants to re-watch this, write it down, follow along, that you'll be able to do that. So you see it's starting to work. Things are starting to move the right direction. And now we just need one more score mark right across here. So what I'm gonna do, it's gonna be a 1 inch. So lots of 1 inch scoring here. So I'm gonna line up my score line here. on the 1 inch. And I'm gonna move my cutting blade out of the way. So that could be a mistake. I was surprised the other day when we made this, not one person, well, that I know of, cut instead of scored. So that was kind of a beneficial thing. And so we're just gonna do it in the middle section there. So again, I lined it up at this, the 1 inch here from my 6.5 score, and then 1 inch down on this, just the middle section is all I'm gonna do. And then you're gonna see how well this is gonna pop up. And this took a little bit of maneuvering and kind of playing with to make it fold the right way, the way I wanted it to. And as you see, as we go, I might have been a little bit off on that, but that's gonna be okay, it's gonna work. I think I might have done 3/4 of an inch. I did. That's okay, see? That fell right into place how it was supposed to. And then as you see, our disregarded back is gonna be a beautiful backdrop for our card, and it's gonna be our easel that is gonna stand. So now I have 2 of them done. I will go through one more very quickly, and then I will decorate them to show you how that works. And I might need to look. Maybe I won't even look. I won't even tell the measurements for all the little pieces. It's a little odd. They're correct in the tutorial, but you know how I talk about all my measuring in, let me move that out of the way, in notches. So, so that might be, because they are a little bit smaller measurements for some of these. And so I needed to get the middle of this. So again, we'll do the 1 inch. I'm at kind of a goofy angle here that I'm looking. And before I decorate, I might not decorate all these. I do want to go through it one more time for you. All right, so we do need to start at the beginning on this one because I don't have the 6.5 scored. So I'm gonna bring it out and I'm gonna go 6.5 with my score. Again, I'll go over this one a little bit faster. So 6.5. And then you'll see how after, I had no idea how to do this on Sunday. And so from Sunday till today, I don't want to say master. I never say that I master anything, but I have come a long ways. All right, so we're going to the 1 inch mark next. Now we're gonna line up that first 1 inch score. And so now we're at the 2 inches from the bottom, and just go in 1 inch on both sides of the card base. And then we are going to cut a line from our 6.5 mark down to our first 1 inch mark. Flip the card and do the same on this side. And my trimmer blade came out a little bit. Let me put that back in there. And then again on that side, and we'll score a 1 inch mark here from the 6.5 mark. So once you make one of these, like I said, maybe the first one, use some scratch paper and then try it again. Don't give up on this. As soon as you figure it out, you're gonna absolutely love this layout. And what I was telling the gals at our Cafe Crafter meeting the other day, what's something really fun to do, especially if you get this tutorial, something really cool to do is, oops, I accidentally scored all the way across. That's okay. See, it's gonna work. Something really cool to do with these, if you get the tutorial and you get the card base, is to cut another one of these bases out right away, paper clip it to the tutorial, and then you have it forever. And then you can go back and redesign this layout using different designer series paper. That Snowflake Splendor suite that we used for that one sheet wonder would be awesome with this, to put a nice big snowflake on the front of here. That would be a really fun fold. You know, summer flowers are great. So there's lots of different options you can do with this layout. Now let's do a little bit of decorating, because we can't just show just the layout. That might be a little bit boring. Let's see what card we have here. Looks like I have the Blushing Bride in this plush paper. And so you'll see I already have it all pre-cut. That is how the card kits will come to you if you get one of these in the mail from me. And you don't have to order this. So the only way to get this is by placing a Stampin' Up! Order. I will share the links to that after I'm through with the video today. It'll be right in the headline of this video post. And you can just click right on it. You don't have to remember host code or anything. Everything will be right there. And so you can shop online, or you can contact me and I will place an order for you. That's absolutely no problem. But that's how you can get these cards today in this free tutorial. And it'll have all the measurements for you. But as you can see how pretty that is, I will give them to you right now though. So here they are. They are the same for every card. So we're gonna have these 2 edge pieces are 7/8 by 4 3/8. And then this middle section is 4 3/8 by 2 1/8. So if that's something you would like to write down, or I can put it up here a little bit if you want to take a screenshot of it, you certainly can do that. And if anybody decides to recreate this, I would love to see it. Share it in the comments. You absolutely can do that, especially if you make it with a different collection. If you use that Snowflake Splendor or, you know, something else fun like that, it would be great to see how it looks with a different collection. And so this is one of those cards. Again, if I wouldn't have been forced, I don't want to say forced, nobody forced me to make it. But if I wouldn't have been encouraged to make this card, you know, honestly, I probably would have shied away from it. I would have been a little bit too nervous about it. And I'm missing a flower in this one, but I'm going to just make it happen anyways without it. And then what we're going to do, look at this. Do you remember that Joy of Sharing card kit I made? I think I made it at our virtual stamp party with the pictures of my kids. This is from that leftover gold foil paper. It's just a little extra shiny. And so I still am using scraps of that. So the regular gold works great, but since I had this really sparkly foil stuff, or it's not sparkly, but really shiny, I decided to use it for this. And so first I am just gonna attach it to the back there because I just need it to sneak out a little bit. And you'll see there is different little sprigs you can attach. They're all equally pretty. And so I have this one here. Oh, I put the glue dot on the wrong side. I should be using my take a pick tool to get that glue dot off of there. I don't know what I'm thinking. Apparently I am not thinking quite so much this morning. I think maybe I need some more coffee. I got up way too early today. Can I tell you that? I don't know what I'm thinking. I decided that I should, which is good. I'm very glad I'm doing it. I decided I should start going to the gym. And I decided I wanted to get back into the early morning because I used to love getting up really early in the morning and going. And I do. I really enjoy it. But man, today I did the 5:30 a.m. workout. And there was people leaving when I got there. I was like, oh my gosh. Here I was like so proud of myself, like look at me, I'm already at the gym, and there's people leaving already. It's like, wow, these people are unbelievable. But so I haven't had much coffee yet today because I just got busy when we got home with things. And all right, so we're gonna go ahead and layer that on. And I'm missing the top one. How does that happen? I don't know if it flew out somewhere or where it is at. But I need to find it. Hold on. Here we go. Which this will work great because I want to share a different little thing with you as well. And so this is just so weird that I'm getting the comments, but I'm not getting the video play. That's okay. Like I said, if this wasn't going smooth, it would be something else that would be going wrong. So I'm going to take it. And let's go ahead and attach that. So I did 3 poinsettias. You can do however many you want. I thought 3 looked great for this project. And then go ahead. I have all the embellishments here. I am going to add one of these beautiful beaded pearls. These are just my favorite. I don't really switch up the earrings I ever wear, but I really want to make these into a pair of earrings or a cute little brooch. I don't know if brooches are a thing anymore, but I don't know, maybe I could bring it back. That'd be kind of a different thing to do. And you know, I think I might have, oh, I missed something on here. I miss adding these beautiful leaves behind here that I have in Old Olive, but look at how easy that's going to be to tuck them in there. So I think what I'll do is just put a glue dot on there. So I'm using kind of a variety of adhesives again today. You can use dimensionals on these if you want to pop them up more. Glue dots work great. I have our stamp and seal, and then I also have the liquid glue. So I always have a variety, and usually just depends on what kind of project I'm doing. And sometimes it depends on what I just grabbed. Sometimes I just reach for the liquid glue, and sometimes I reach for something else. All right, so looks like I'm gonna just tuck that in, and then we have one more step to this card to finish it off. And that is Wink of Stella. Now, something that was shared with me a few weeks ago is, you know, now it looks like I need a little more Wink of Stella on there. So I'm gonna squeeze this here. I'm gonna just push and squeeze, but sometimes it can come out a little bit fast. So what I'm gonna do now, so that it doesn't end up on a blob on my card, I am going to hold it up, so then it won't do that. You see that? And then I'm just gonna give all kinds of sparkle. So now it's going pretty good. So now I can put it back. But just so that initial squeeze, it doesn't blop out on your card, it's nice to hold it up in color for a little bit. Okay, now after I got doing these cards and did all this Wink of Stella, which is fun, I love Wink of Stella, I could do that all day long. I thought, wow, you know what I forgot about? I was gonna confirm that it was in the catalog still, and I didn't, but I'm certain it is. Okay, hold on. Oh, we have Molly joining us here. So I am going to move a mat for her. Okay, go ahead, Molly, lay down. All right, she's been in the other room. She hasn't been feeling well these days. Most of you know that. So she hasn't moved from the living room all morning, but she must have heard me talking, so she wanted to see what was going on in here. I'm hoping she's doing all right here. All right, so after doing all this Wink of Stella, I decided there's an easier way to do this, and kind of a fun way too. So both techniques are great. But let's see here what we have. And so what I have here, it looks like kind of a mess, but how fun is this? So I'm glad that I maybe this was supposed to be the one. Glad that I needed to grab some more flowers, so then I can show you this. And I'm hoping that it gives it all the credit it deserves. So what I have here is I have one of our spritzers, and I have a little bit of rubbing alcohol in there, and then a little bit of this frost white. So it's like a liquid glitter, I don't know, liquid sparkle. It's amazing. It's pretty amazing. So again, not Wink of Stella, just a little rubbing alcohol, and then a little bit of this. If you put too much of this, sometimes it'll clog up your spritzer, which I hope didn't happen here, because it did the other day. Now, something I do like to spray it a few times before I'm gonna spray it in here. So I'm gonna just spray it into my garbage and make sure it's spritzing good, and it is. And so then all you have to do is spritz it on your paper. And you can make any paper, embellishment, whatever you're doing, into a nice sparkle. So that's just another way to add sparkle, and it's a little bit different of a sparkle from Wink of Stella. So let me see if I give that a little glow there. Isn't that pretty? And so that's what these will look like when they dry. And so I just keep a little container for this, but it's just really a different technique. It's fun to do, something I sometimes forget about because I do just grab my Wink of Stella. And for this, it is nice too. I didn't use watercolor paper for it. So what it did after it dried, because this one I put a little bit more on, so it got the paper wet, it did kind of curl it up, which for a poinsettia, how perfect, you know? So it's a good, automatic curling, so you don't have to, sometimes on these I like to do this, but when you use that, you don't even have to do that. It just automatically does that. All right, so I'm gonna let those dry and I will put them on another card. So let me just decorate one more card as long as I have you here, and then we'll wrap it up for the day and move along. All right, so you know what I didn't talk about? You know what I have to do today? I have to go and do more shoveling. Not super excited about it, but here in Minnesota, we got another round of snow last night. I was supposed to go to work in New Ulm, and my boss called actually right as I was leaving town, and I was kind of debating, like, should I call him, should I not? And You know what? Let's do this one that I scored wrong, so I'll show you how it doesn't matter. All right, I do see a comment that Gail just shared the shimmer paint. Thank you so much, Gail. I knew it was still, I was certain it was still in there because I thought I looked the other day. You know what? I didn't even stamp a sentiment on there. We're going to have to do that too. So as you see, I'm a little bit out of sorts these days. I got a lot going on here. They just announced this morning that we're going back to full-time distance learning next week for the kids. So that has me a little distracted today. All right, and then let's go ahead and adhere that. So see, once you have these measurements down once, you got them for good. So you just got to cut them out 4 times and then you got these beautiful cards. Or if you get the make and take kit, you can just copy them. Well, you'll have the tutorial too to look back on, but sometimes I find it easier. Yes, the tutorial is great, but I find it easier just to grab this little piece of paper, grab a ruler, my paper trimmer, or I keep a tape measure nice and handy, and then I know exactly what that needs to be. So that's another tool I keep real close by hand. It's both just like a cheap ruler, obviously the paper trimmer works, or I use a tape measure. And here we go. I think we went over that a couple times now, how I like to just, if it's not an inch, I go, you know, it's 1 notch past. So that works too. All right, so these are the ones we're gonna stamp. And then as you see here, so this poinsettia, I left plain. I didn't do any embossing on it. I didn't add the inserts to make the vines, which I can show you how those are. So if you're wondering how that works, so here's the regular die cut, so the framelit, and then this piece goes inside. And so what you can do is you can drop that in, and that's what's gonna give you the veins, like what this card has. So you can do it either way. And something else that I did, I'm getting totally off topic. Well, this isn't off topic. I'm still talking about the same old cards. Not the same old. These are new. These are brand new. What am I talking about? All right. Something I did on this poinsettia, I ran it through our Old World embossing folder to give it a nice texture, which I thought that one was perfect for a poinsettia. And so there's just many, many different ways to use these die cuts. And like I said, this one I did plain. And I don't know if I said I ran them through the Old World. Oh, maybe I shouldn't say that. He might get mad at me. Well, again, I talk about my husband. He's not listening. He's sleeping right now because he works nights. Don't tell him though that I'm telling you this. So he ran all of those Old World ones through the embossing folder. So he cut them out for me first. I was very appreciative of that. And then he was just sitting with them all in a pile next to him. And, you know, he had the sample one there, and I said, well, we're not quite done yet. We need to emboss those yet. And I don't know how happy he was with me about that, but he did it. And then I told him I needed 36 sets, I think. I don't know. And I don't think I actually needed 36 sets. I think I miscounted. And so he did them all, and then I laid them all out on a table, and there was like, you know, 10 left, because I think I needed 26. And so there was like 10 left, so I hid them in a drawer because I didn't want him to know that he cut too many. So if you see him, don't tell him that he cut too many poinsettias for me. In the end, I'll end up using them all because I have to make my own Christmas cards to send out as well. All right, so I'm just gonna add those behind. And so these ones, you'll see these leaves, because I was running out of time and I thought it's gonna take a lot more time to run them all through to get the vein in there. But yet I still didn't want them just to be plain. I dropped them all into an embossing folder. Any of the textured ones, the Old World one would work if you wanted to use the same one all across. But this one I used the not Rooted in Nature, Tasteful Touches. So I used the Tasteful Touches 3D. And then the other one, like I said, was the Old World 3D. And so many different ways to go about this. And let's just add this other leaf. And this is Real Red and Old Olive that I'm using today. I'm really excited to try this one though too in Cherry Cobbler. So that'll be a really nice option as well. And we'll just add our seal on here. And you know, you could do dimensionals. if you'd like. And let's just position that so it's somewhat in the middle there. And we will add our little gem, our pearl. Oh, I did forget one thing. I forgot this. I have to add this to it. Okay. Let me pull this off. So I didn't put a ton of adhesive on, so I can pull that off yet. It gives me a little forgiveness. So what I have here is some gold trim. This is from the Forever Greenery Suite. Looks like I got the end there. I need to snip that off. Hey, I should point this out. Isn't this quite cool? I got this paper trimmer, paper snips, and this charm from Stampin' Up! Last week. So some of us demonstrators, if you're a Silver Elite demonstrator, they sent us a little bonus gift. I thought that was quite generous of them. Again, I'm gonna do that bow thing again. So it's either the 8 or the bow thing that I like to do. So I'm just gonna tie a very large bow, and what I'm gonna do is position that with a glue dot right here. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna give me just that perfect little messy look behind my poinsettia. So there is my trick to the messy look. It's just a very large bow. I hope I made it large enough. I think I did. Oh yeah, look at how perfect that is. Just done. See? It doesn't even look like a bow after you add that in there. It's just a perfect little extra touch, I guess, to your card. The extra touch your card needs. This is so funny. I'm using like 3 different things of glue dots. I've got snail, I've got liquid glue, I got all kinds of stuff. Let's put a little bit of liquid glue behind there. So I decided I want this to stick down just a little bit more. So I'm gonna put a dab of liquid glue. And then I have the glue dot there. And so that finishes that card off. Last but not least, we just have to do a little bit of stamping. I use the same sentiment on all 4 of the cards I made today. Could you do something else? Absolutely. But what I like about this is that I can just have one stamp out, one color, and it's gonna look great for all of them. So I think this is the perfect Christmas card to impress your friends and family. Because it's really, once you do a couple, it's really not all that difficult, but it is so impressive. And this is going to be a card they are going to keep forever. This is one they're going to set on their mantle, and it's going to stay there, or the counter. And then everyone that, well, I shouldn't say everyone, because not a lot of people are going to be coming by to visit, most likely, but they're going to keep it there for a very long time. Then it'll be in the background when they do their family Zoom Christmases and such. All right, so I'm gonna leave that soak in. I have my foam mat here. Let me see if I put that. I think I added that on the supply list this time, so I can tell you the name of it. Yeah, so it's actually, the formal name is a Stampin' Pierce mat. It can be found online. It is not in the catalog. And so whenever I use photopolymer stamps, I do use that foam mat. I think I talk about that nearly every week. I must use a lot of photopolymer. And I'm just using the Memento Tuxedo Black. Again, if you want to just switch it up and, you know, coordinate a red, the real red with the red card, you certainly can. But since I'm making 4 different, I thought I would do it this way. And so these are the 2 I'll make for you today. And then I will bring them all in for you to see. I want to put the cover back on this. You know what happens when you don't put that back on. Before you know it, you drop your beautifully finished card into the ink pad, and then it's just a sad day. All right, so I'm going to put this on with some dimensionals. If I can find some. I have some in my drawer here. So a variety of adhesives is very important to have. So if that's something you'd like to stock up on, now would be a great time to do it, and then you can get these cards for free. All right, and just add that in. So beautiful. I didn't do the Wink Estella on there yet, but I will later. I'll spare you guys watching me color, but it is a nice touch. And so let me bring all the cards in, and then we will wrap things up for the day. I am going to let you know that I am going to be gone for the weekend. I'm finishing up as much as I possibly can today. including our weekly email. I'm finishing up. I will probably first be scheduling it to send out to you tomorrow morning. So the weekly email is going to go out as normal tomorrow morning with all the current class signups that I have, additional information on these cards, the retreat sign up. Oh, I didn't give an update on the retreat. So one day retreat was announced last week. And a heads up on that, if you would like to retreat with us in person, we are limited to a smaller amount of people so that we can social distance. And we all will have our own rooms, and it's a large facility. And if you sign up to attend in person, you can't make it, you're not out any of the lodging fee, and you'll still get your retreat in a box sent to you. So that's no issue, but there is only one spot for that, for the overnight left. There's plenty of spots open for the one day because there's some large areas there that we can utilize. And then of course the one in the mail is still wide open, but you do save $10 if you sign up by December 1st. So if you're thinking about that, definitely consider it and consider signing up soon. And especially if you want that overnight spot because there's only one left. Aren't these just absolutely beautiful? I am just so impressed. I'm so glad that I took the leap, gave it a try, and tried something new because now this is a beautiful card as well, but this is normally my style. Simple stamping, a little bit of die cutting, but that's all. But when I'm pushed outside my comfort zone, I absolutely am so impressed and excited about the cards that I now have to send friends, family, customers that are just gonna knock their socks off because they're just so darn cute. All right, everybody, I think that's going to do it for today. Again, like I said, I'm going to be gone for the weekend, but I will be back on Monday for Holiday Club class for those of you that are joining us live. Otherwise, those that have purchased it, you do have until Sunday to purchase that. That class is going to go out next Wednesday in the mail. And then I'll be back next Wednesday as well with our regular Facebook Live at 11. Have a fabulous weekend, everybody. We will talk to you all real soon.